Hello everyone and welcome to day 215 of my fasting journey. 215 days is over 7.5 months of me performing rolling fast. Later tonight, I will be completing my 64th fast since November of 2023. On average, I've been fasting for 75 plus hours per fast. That's over a 3-day fast for the last 7.5 months. That means in the last 215 days, I have only eaten on 64 of those days. Well, tonight will be 64 when I break. Rolling fasts are how I lost 80 pounds in the first 5 months, and how I'm continuing to keep this weight off, maintaining this weight for these last 2.5 plus months. This morning I weighed in at 139.8 pounds, keeping myself in my maintenance range. In my last video, which was also my last refeed day, I talked about how I was going to the Cubs game, but breaking there. It's not how I typically refeed. If I had a choice, that wouldn't be the way I would refeed, but this is life. Plus, I was just super excited to go to the game. The Cubs were playing the White Sox. I mean, come on, how much more Chicago can that be? By the way, the Cubs won. One of the people I'm currently coaching said this so succinctly to me when it comes to life just happening. They said, life be lifin', and I wholeheartedly agree. Your fasting journey will never be perfect. Sure, you're gonna have some great fasts under your belt, but you're also going to face some obstacles and hurdles along the way. The most important thing to remember is to keep going no matter what life throws at you. It's about imperfect consistency, and if you're not new to my channel, you should have already seen that coming. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. So on my last refeed on game day, I broke with beer and hot dogs, chicken tenders and fries. And after the game, I continued to eat. I had Caesar salad, I had my trusty Italian sausage and Brussels sprouts, bananas, cashews, cookies, and I even had some cheesecake to polish off the night. Now, if you're new and you're wondering why I eat the way I do or why I eat so much, it's because I do have a problem when it comes to control. I tend to eat 4,000 to 6,000 calories per refeed. Actually, lately, I find myself eating somewhere in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 or even more calories per refeed. This is what I was doing when I weighed 80 plus pounds more. You would think that maybe my appetite would change after losing all that weight, but it hasn't. In fact, I find myself eating even more, and I'm not sure if that's because I've been adding a lot more cardio or because I've been lifting very heavy. I just find myself very ravenous during my refeeds. But even eating the way I do, having no caloric restriction, having no macro restriction, eating as many calories that I want, I still continue to lose weight. I still continue to maintain this weight, and I'll continue to do it because that's currently what works for me. Now, I want you to remember, just because I fast for 90 plus hours or currently 65 plus hours doesn't mean that you have to fast for that long. Just because I eat 4, 5, 6,000 plus calories, sometimes even more, doesn't mean that you have to eat that much. The reason I initially fasted for 90 plus hours for 5 months is because I needed to, based on the way I ate and based on the way I exercise. Now you might be thinking, well, why didn't you just eat less? And I'll tell you that it is just difficult for me to do that when it comes to my diet. I'm really good at fasting, I'm really good at exercising, but when it comes to my diet, that is where it's the most difficult. I just tend to eat a lot. At my heaviest, when I weighed 235, even at my smallest, when I weighed 125, the appetite really didn't change. And it doesn't mean that it won't change in the future. I am always trying to evolve and adapt. I've talked about that before. I'm trying to evolve my diet, my exercise routine, everything I can do to be better health-wise. All that being said, you have to do what works for you. My journey is my journey. Your journey is yours. Now, I'm not saying that you can't mimic what I'm doing, because I'm sure you're gonna find some success doing a 65-hour fast or a 90-hour fast. But I'm not sitting here telling you to eat 4,000, 6,000 calories. You shouldn't be forcing food down if you don't have to. I just eat this way because that is how I eat. That is what gives me satiety. I do find it kind of interesting though, how my appetite is the way it is, even at this weight, even in the high 130s, low 140s. Not to mention, I'm only 5'3". I'm not a big guy, but I can definitely put it down. And because I continue to trust the process, because I keep repeating the same fast over and over and over, because I have learned from it from trial and error, I know that I am going to continue to lose weight. I know if I really wanted to push the weight loss, then I could perform a 90-hour fast. Why? Because I've done it, and that's how I lost 80 pounds in 5 months. My goal by the end of June is to hit 137 pounds. Now, that isn't really a lofty goal. This was was a goal that I set for myself back in May, is to get to the lower end of my maintenance range. And nothing else changes in this process. I'm still going for at least an hour walk every day. I'm going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I'm trying to lift as heavy as I can. I am doing progressive overload. I'm trying to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. That is my hope. And I'm still trying to get quality sleep. But equally as important, I'm trying to keep my mental health stable. A lot of us think that weight loss can just be done in 3 easy steps. And maybe for some people it's possible, but for someone like me who has an eating disorder, who does suffer from binge eating, it's just not that simple. There's still a huge mental hurdle to overcome, and that is something that I am dealing with and processing every day. That's why this fasting journey will never end. That's why I am as accountable as I am. That's why I post as frequently as I do, because I need that accountability to show all of you that this can be done, but I need to be accountable to make that happen. I've said this before, but if social media ceased to exist today, if YouTube was completely gone, I don't know if I would be able to keep the weight off, because then I lose accountability. I'm sure I would have to find a different way to be accountable, but doing this is very helpful for me. And it's one of the reasons I do one-on-one coaching, because I do think people need accountability. A lot of us can tell ourselves we're gonna do a 72-hour fast. The moment you are maybe halfway into it and you don't wanna do it anymore, who's to tell you otherwise? You can walk away from it and no one's gonna tell you anything, because there's no one to be accountable to or for. With all of that being said, if my videos are not enough motivation or inspiration for you, I do again offer one-on-one coaching when it comes to fasting, weight loss, and accountability. You can check the link in the description. I will see you in the next one.